Good day, friends. It's my second and last vlog. Unlike last year where I did it all the time, this year I really didn't get into the vlogging. I was doing lots of stuff. Not vlogging though, and that's too bad because I love to do it. Kind of love to do it. It was fun. I wanted to do this quite a while ago, but I couldn't because I was waiting for my BMI. After the BMI, I was waiting for the doctor because she phoned, said she wanted to talk to me. So, and then after that, I went on vacation. So here we are, the day before school starts, getting things crossed off on my to-do list in the summer. This is one of them. And I've come to believe from all of this that diet has way more to do with weight, for me anyways, than physical activity. My daily routine was pretty well the same as last year. I would get up, I would help Laura get out of the house, I would then drive to the Y, I would work out. I'd be away for 3 hours, so 2.5 hours there. Of the 2.5 hours, half an hour was in the sauna, or stretching in the sauna after the workout, or the whirlpool, and then just daily hygiene stuff. So that's a half an hour. So I worked out roughly an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes every day. So it was 35 minutes on the treadmill. Sometimes it went up or down a minute because really I was just looking at the calorie count on it, and once it got up to a certain calorie count I was happy to stop. And I did the exact same thing on the bike, so the incline bike where you're horizontal. And I did that for 35 minutes roughly every day as well. After I was done that, it was on to the weights, and a lot of the weights ended up being me just walking around the gym and then taking a 20-pound dumbbell and just repetitions or reps of 10, change arms, reps 10, change arms, and doing that with the forearms. And really I would get an extra 3 kilometers at that track and doing weights at the same time because I felt like I was there for a lot of my day, and it was fun. I liked doing it, but I didn't seem to get too much else done. I'd come home and it would be, I don't know, 11 o'clock, or I'd go do something afterwards, and I didn't get home till after lunch. So talking about the food, unlike last year, I ate as much vegetables as I wanted from my garden or from local farmers, and I like that better. I really did, because the beer was a necessity last year. I had to have the beer to survive for energy, and this year I didn't. The beer was pure enjoyment, my Dolphlebock, and I'll grab it right here. Right there, see that? And I still have 15 liters of it left. I had 60 in all, and yeah, 15. It's quite clear. It's very good. I have to thank Chad for the Dolphlebock. His help. He made 20 liters himself this year, and I with the other 60. So it was a hefty venture on the Saturday that we did it. And then more recently, he came towards the end of my diet, and this beer, my third batch, was very cloudy, cloudier than my first when I first started. So there was something a little bit wrong. So he said, why don't you find it? And he found me the site, and he said, find it with gelatin, and I did. I did that before I went on vacation. And by the time I came back from vacation, it was this clear, which is substantially clearer than it was previously. So, tastes fantastic. Richard came over today, a buddy of mine, and he had the choice of probably about 10 different beers that I have in bottles, cans, and this is the one he picked to have. He liked it the best. So it's encouraging. I think I'll keep doing the Dolphlebock, but it won't be for subsistence. So let's look back at the information, just make sure I get all that I need. I talked about the beer, still 15. Yeah, and finding's kind of cool. If you like the beer really clear, I don't care. I truly don't care if my beer's hazy or not, unfiltered. I kind of like that. It kind of adds to the mystique of home brewing. But when people come over and they're not used to it, and you give them something that's hazier, there's a little hesitation. They don't like it as much, I don't think. So looking online at how the gentleman did this uh, with the gelatin, I might try it again just to see what it's like, or if it makes a terrible difference. I don't think so. It doesn't make a difference in the flavor, which is still lovely. The BMI results, disconcerting. And I talked about this last year and again this year. Uh, I wanted to make sure that I didn't lose lean, and that's what they call it on my little BMI. So there's total mass, there's fat, lean, and BMC, bone mass composition, something like that. So looking at all of the information, I really focused on the fat and the lean, making sure that whatever I lost, it was mostly fat. Well, that was the intent, it's what I wanted. I lost roughly 20 pounds. I gained back 3 when I was on vacation because I had too much beer, and even though I was walking 18,000 steps a day or whatever amount of kilometers that was, uh, too much beer, and ate too much. Although I really tried not to. I did. And yeah, so of the 20 pounds, 2/3 that I lost of the 20 was fat, 1/3 was lean. So that's a little bit scary. With the amount that I was working out, I was really hoping that I could compensate for any natural loss that would happen. And it didn't work out. So next year, if I do this again, I'm sure I'll revert back to it again. So eating vegetables mainly, but I will have a certain amount of lean. I'll have some protein every day. And not just plant protein, but maybe whey protein. Maybe it's a supplement that I take. I haven't really thought it over too much. I just like the fact that I was weighing the amount of food that I had, that I was sticking to something that was a bit more regimented as opposed to just having it or looking at a meal and finishing a large chunk. You make what you need, and I think I can get into that. I'm fine measuring things. I'm fine partitioning things out and having just so much. And it works well with me now. When I have chips, and I'm always going to have chips, it's my favorite snack, I will have 30 grams because most of the bags that I read on the back, their one portion is 30 grams, and then you can calculate or see the calories on it real easily. So that's what I did. And what I'm still doing a month after the diet's ended, again, I gained 3 pounds, and I went out last night and did the Golden Mile with some good friends of mine from McKernan, and drank even more beer, and I'm sure gained another couple pounds. We'll find out. I'm not working out the Y anymore. I'm working out at the University of Alberta before school every day. Not every day, 4 days a week is the intent. I'll go there 6:30 in the morning and drop Laura off at South Campus. She'll take the LRT to work, and I will head her inside and work at the Seville Center. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, really happy with how things went. If you could see my hops behind me. So they're growing fairly well. I was pretty happy with the hops, and the garden to the side. It's all pretty, and the yard well kept, and that's something I kept up all summer. I worked in the yard every day. So for the first, like I said, I worked out, and then when I came home, it was either running around or stuff in the yard. Tried to get most of the work done here, outside, before 2 or 3 in the afternoon because I didn't want it to be too hot. And then just prepared supper, and same thing, I tried to make it really interesting for Laura and the kids, although the kids really weren't into my mostly vegetarian diet. Johanna likes all fruit, which I wasn't growing any fruit. The raspberries didn't last very long. I think the kids were picking them all along, and we had very few. And probably about 6 strawberries. And everything else was the farmer's market. And I was happy to do that, and I was happy to buy local. And other diets I've seen before where they talk about everything within a certain radius from your house, and I thought, sure, why not? Something else that's new and different and unique that I could add to this month of eating more healthy. Again, need to thank Tim, need to thank my friends who came up, well, Richard, who I saw, Tim, who I saw, and Chad for coming over as well. It's nice to have a little bit of company when you're doing something. So, yes, it was good. We got to see their kids. It's good. School starts tomorrow, so I'm a little bit excited, but very happy to have done this. I'll check in with you again next year. Hopefully I've kept 10 pounds off at least of the 20 by the time I start my diet again next year, and that way every year I'm starting 10 pounds lighter than the previous year, and if I'm losing 20 every year, I'll get the weight down to 210 maybe in a couple years. Let's see how that happens. That's my ideal way. I think that's where I want to be, and I am right now 227. This is the least I've weighed since before my son was born, so in the last 25 years this is the least. Although with losing the muscle mass, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I want to lose the weight. I don't want to lose muscle mass because I've always equated being big and muscular, and it makes me happy, and that's kind of where I want to stay. So you want to be strong, you want to be fit, and I want to be lean, but I don't want to give up the muscle. So again, we'll think about it. Next year we'll see what we can do to keep the protein up, and it's me signing off. Have a fantastic year, and thanks for listening to my only my second vlog, and maybe that's all I ever need. Later.